Shut the fuck up, Hugo.
Damn. Couldn't keep it going.
You ruined everything. This was supposed to be the first psychically linked episode where we telepathically communicate. But now you've thrown off the whole fucking vibe. And now we gotta use these disgusting mouth things to communicate.
Talking to the mouth thing.
Yeah, well, I'm talking, right?
Talking
Welcome.
to the mouth thing.
You stop fucking interrupting me. Are you afraid of what I have to say? Is that why you're just constantly interrupting me?
The whole world's
Can you
afraid.
stop interrupting me, all right? All right, can I get
We're
a
all
word?
afraid.
Can I get a word across here? Yeah, go ahead. Enjoy your tasty beverage, sir.
That is a tasty beverage.
I'm glad.
Thank you, producer Emily. I will not start the show without a tasty beverage.
Good. Hydration is important, Hugo. Fun fact, you're 70% water.
70, I'm more than you.
Oh, is that right?
I'm more fluid.
Yeah, because I'm 69 all the time.
Yeah. That 1% you're missing is replaced by salt.
More like 31% salts. Gotcha. Anyway, welcome everybody to the huge podcast.
Damn right. Welcome back. Hopefully you had a great week without us.
Yes.
It's about to get better.
Yes.
Maybe worse.
No, it's always getting better.
And if you're here on a Thursday night and not on a Wednesday,
Then that's great.
you're on the same timeline.
You're on the right timeline, the right time zone. All right.
There's unlimited universes out there, Drasco. So who knows where somebody might be tuning in from. They might be in a mixed up timeline. This is a way to cross-reference that.
Okay.
Now they know. They're fucked.
So you've been reading up about timelines?
Yeah, man.
Multiple timelines?
Unlimited timelines. There's too many to keep track of.
What's your favorite one? Is it the one where people are chairs and then phones are people? Or the one where phones are chairs and then people are pizza?
Wow.
Think
I don't
about
think I'd want people to be pizza.
No, probably not.
And I like this one because pizza is pizza.
So when you order a pizza, you have to go, let's order a pizza. Okay, let's get half white people and then half Hispanics.
What ingredients are Hispanics, Drasco?
Caliente.
Oh my God.
Muy caliente, por favor. I want,
I think white people pizza would be the plainest fucking pizza. That would just be the plain cheese of all pizzas.
I think it'd be plainer than that.
Just sauce and bread.
Yeah.
Not even the cheese.
It would just be, okay, let's think about this for a sec.
All right, let's
White
do it.
people pizza. We're going to go through all of the nations.
We're going
races.
through all the demographics, all the minorities.
And we're talking about
let's get that tier list going.
Yeah.
We're doing the tier list of minorities.
White people
Let's
pizza
not do
is
Nope.
white sauce. It's like a white Parmesan sauce.
Just like a very basic bechamel sauce.
Lightly sprinkled with paprika, as they say, so that it's seasoned.
Why would there be paprika? Do you see any paprika in this, Hugo? Is there any?
You
is
love
there
you got
seasoning?
just a little. Hey, I love paprika too. I'd put for me it wouldn't be lightly.
No, man. We're going with the base bechamel sauce with a little bit of salt. White on white. That's it.
You can
Done.
put pepper. You can put pepper on
White
there.
pepper.
We
White
can
pepper.
do pepper.
We'll
Yeah.
put some white
White
pepper on there. All
The
right.
pizza doesn't have to be white to,
Yeah,
to
this is-
reflect white people flavors.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't have to
We're
visually
not gonna
be
make
white.
a black pizza for black people.
Black olives, black peppers. Burn it to a crisp.
Nutella
Whoa.
is the sauce. Although Nutella, if you were to do Nutella
Nutella pizzas?
with
Hell yeah. Cookie
like
pizza. brother.
Oreos, it wouldn't not be good.
Nutella pizza
There's
with Oreos.
there's more than 0% chance that it would be good.
I believe so.
I'll never understand cheese pizza, says Jono.
Why
Why there are no toppings?
There is a topping, Jono. It's called cheese.
no cheese is never counted as a topping.
Well,
Unless it's extra cheese, like you want to put goat cheese on there, then that would be a topping.
I mean, you
But
can.
the base cheese?
So what about a 4-cheese pizza? Is that still a no-topping pizza?
No, like I said, the base cheese is not a topping.
So what's the base cheese?
Whatever you want, but it's not. That's
So the
not
first
topping.
cheese is free, basically.
First cheese is free.
So I can put
Because you
whatever.
can't call yourself a pizza shop if you're delivering a pizza without cheese on it.
What about it? What if you're lactose intolerant, Hugo?
Then you put that lactose free, or you better yet, you give the patient one little lactose pill. Okay, they are now your patients.
Okay.
And then, so what you do, you eat the lactose pill. I've handled many of these lactose intolerant patients. You just tell them to administer the pill 20 to 30 minutes before the meal. If they're extremely lactose intolerant, take 2. Or get the extra strength lactase pills.
Where have you encountered these lactose intolerant people? In your
All
life?
over.
All over the place?
Yeah.
In your chef career, in your doctor career, in your...
Yeah, they mix a lot.
Oh, okay.
Those careers mix a lot.
I bet. Just like Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir mix a lot.
He does mix a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
but yeah, it's like, honestly, you don't have anything to complain about if you're lactose intolerant. Just carry around these tiny little lactase pills. Okay, I'd like to see anyone tell me that isn't the best type of allergy to have. You just take a little lactase pill 30 minutes before, you're good to go.
I mean, what about if there's pizza sauce on it too? Then cheese and pizza sauce, that's like your basic things. None of those count as basics on a pizza.
Cheese and pizza sauce do.
That's it.
Whatever, you get one sauce, you get one cheese, you get dough. You have a no topping pizza. Then you have to add the toppings, which are everything else. It could be another cheese. You wouldn't dare put another sauce.
Unless it's like
That's
little
not true.
clumps of pesto.
No, yeah, or actually barbecue sauce on like a chicken pizza.
So you would have the tomato and then the barbecue sauce? and then-
No, just barbecue. You replace the tomato. You crazy?
People are so complicated with your rules and your strict guidelines of what is and what isn't a topping.
I want to do the Mexican pizza now
Okay, let's do the Mexican pizza.
because I think that would actually be a good pizza. It has
Okay.
to start with jalapenos, pickled jalapenos.
Fine. Pickled jalapenos. We get some carne asada on there.
Yes,
We get
clumps
some...
of carne asada,
What's that Mexican cheese that they put on stuff?
cojita.
Okay, we'll put some of that on there.
Corn.
Corn,
Corn.
an assload of cilantro. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit who out there
But it has
says
to be
it doesn't taste good or it tastes like
Has
soap.
to be fresh after
your-
the pizza's baked.
Take your 2% genetic flaw and get off my timeline.
I'm gonna propose instead of a tomato sauce, we do guacamole.
Okay. Ooh.
No, ew.
Oh.
No.
I mean,
it's
all right.
still a pizza. It's not a fucking burrito.
I like where you're going with this, Emily, but I
Thanks.
think the minute we slide it into that oven, that guac is going to shit.
Yeah, exactly. You can't bake that. You can't
Yeah.
bake guac.
I think that's the only problem I have with that.
I-
Although I like how you're thinking. I like it.
Thanks,
I thought you were
Trasco.
gonna
Thanks for
say
the support.
salsa or something. At least that's more
if,
Mexican.
If we can do like a red salsa or even a salsa verde instead of like pizza sauce, baby, I think we're cooking with some.
Yeah, I think that sounds really good.
yeah,
All right.
salsa verde instead of the pizza sauce. I think that's good.
Would you take chicken on that pizza? Would you splice that carne asada for chicken?
No, not for the Mexican pizza.
No, I think just
That's the Portuguese pizza. Rotisserie chicken,
Oh,
shredded up, all over the pizza.
What else you got on there? You can't.
Oh,
be
we got
can't be putting these like. Ooh, you gonna
Black
put,
olives.
You gonna put those little potatoes on there?
yeah the little bolinha.
Or at
you
least
can have
like, or
the-
see, we can thinly slice the fuckers
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then put them
Thinly
on
slice some potatoes. Yeah, that'd be good.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and with some piri piri sauce over the top.
Okay.
Or
all
maybe,
right.
yeah, because you can't do the whole pizza with piri piri sauce.
No.
And
we need just a
You could do tomato sauce, regular tomato sauce, but with a bit of piri piri over that rotisserie chicken, olives, and
the potatoes.
the potatoes,
Okay.
and parsley and paprika on top as well.
Okay. That sounds pretty
Fresh
good.
at the end.
That sounds pretty good, Hugo. I like
I'd
it.
do that.
I
I'd
like
eat
it.
that.
All right, Emily. Let's get a Halifax pizza. Oh wait, you're not from Halifax.
East Coast.
East Coast pizza.
Our East Coast pizza's just like garlic fingers with donair sauce.
Okay, Emily, I need to know what exactly is in a donair sauce, because I was talking with someone and I was telling them about donair sauce, and they're like, "What the fuck is donair sauce?"
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into the whole thing about like why they're saying that. You guys are ripping off the Middle East. That's a whole other argument to have.
It's a very different sauce.
Okay.
It's a sweet sauce.
But just let me know what are the key ingredients. Give me the top three. Three.
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, it's a magic sauce. It's like a very protected little recipe. Even like when we've bought it at places or had it here, it's not the same. And like at home, there are spray bottles at the end of like every late night pizza line. You can just like pick up the spray bottle and spray your pizza down with donair sauce. Oh, you gotta go to Willie's and get the Newfie poutine when
Ooh.
you're in Halifax. You got to.
Yeah.
It's It's got stuffing on it.
It's
fucking
stuffing,
awesome.
like turkey stuffing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm in.
it's so good.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's
I mean, okay, so donair sauce is basically like there's some sort of creamy element. It's like condensed milk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's sugar for sure
We'll
because
give it
it's
its
sweet,
sweetness.
and I think a little bit of garlic. I think
Okay.
it's like those are kind of the main components, but it's like sweet and garlicky. But it's very different from Middle Eastern sauces, which are generally like tahini based or like pure toom, like just garlic.
Ooh, fucking putting the Middle East monopoly on fucking donairs on thin ice here. Emily's coming for
Well,
your
no,
asses.
no. I want to be very clear. The East Coast donair is not a donair. Like it is very
Be
different.
proud
I
of
don't
your
know why they
heritage,
call it.
Emily. Be
No, I
proud of your
love-
appropriation, for
I-
God's sake.
I love them. We shouldn't call them donairs. They should just be called like weird street meat from the East Coast. What? Yeah. I mean, it's very good, but it's super different.
All right.
It is appropriation. Yeah. That doesn't feel good.
It's okay. I think it's the best kind of appropriation, the delicious kind of appropriation.
No, we just fucked it up. We didn't know how to make it. So we're like white sauce and like made our own. Like, add some sugar. It's fine.
I can see it happening.
I don't think it's tzatziki sauce.
No, it's
not.
tzatziki because
I'm just answering the chat,
well,
saying it's not.
you shouldn't be answering the chat. You should be
I'm in my-
yelling at the chat. Be like, "No, damn it, it's not tzatziki. That's Greek.
You gotta
Also
be.
not Middle Eastern."
You gotta be polite.
No.
Like, you know, Greek was almost Middle Eastern. Okay, for a while there, it was pretty close to becoming Middle Eastern.
Okay, that's fine.
John would get mushrooms, pepperoni, green pepper, chicken, spinach.
Pepperoni.
Yeah,
green
that sounds
pepper.
good.
Chicken on a pizza.
You
though?
did kind of lose me a little bit
On the
chicken
chicken.
and spinach, but
The
I think it would be good.
The
still.
spinach actually works on some toppings.
with pepperoni though. See,
No.
I like spinach better with chicken, not pepperoni.
Is there pepperoni on his pizza?
Yeah, there's mushrooms and pep.
Oh damn!
I
And
like
chicken?
mushrooms and pepperoni. What's the Canadian one? Mushrooms, pepperoni, and
bacon.
ham or bacon.
Bacon.
That I actually think is such a good.
It's the
combo.
Canadian pizza, which is ironic because the fucking Hawaiian pizza is actually made in Canada. So how come that isn't called the Canadian pizza?
Canadian pizza
oh,
too.
because pineapples don't grow in Canada. You can't call it a Canadian pizza. The ingredients don't come from Canada. That's bullshit.
It's a branding 101, man. We should be proud that we invented the Hawaiian pizza.
I'm proud of it. I love the fucking
and
Hawaiian
I'm sure
pizza.
Hawaiians are also glad.
That there's a
didn't-
pizza named after them that they had no influence on at all. It was just forced upon them.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think they're glad.
I'm glad.
I think they're glad it's not theirs. What would Hawaii do on a pizza though? Like
Probably pineapples and coconuts,
And pork.
and pork.
Yeah,
That's true.
it would-
I mean, that's literally the fucking Canadian version of the pineapple pizza.
the guy that did it was smart. I think it would be like fried spam, grilled pineapple,
Grilled pineapple. Fuck yeah. Oh.
and like seaweed.
You lost me on the seaweed. I'll take the grilled pineapple with like just like a little bit of cinnamon on there, just for like.
We're
a little
talking
bit of flavor.
Hawaiian pizza. Where the
They
fuck
don't have
did cinnamon? The spice trade didn't exactly go to Hawaii.
Fine, fish and pineapple. There, you happy? There's your Hawaiian
Ooh,
pizza.
like poke bowl toppings. If you have like tuna, like a nice tuna and a spicy mayo.
Yeah,
That'd be good too.
Okay, we got the Japanese pizza.
Yeah, that's true. That's more. That's more Japanese. How the hell did we get?
Yeah. Well,
how'd they
but
get
poke's
spicy mayo?
from Hawaii. It's because they have a huge Japanese like population there.
You know, one day the whole world's gonna be so mixed, we won't be able to tell where anything's from.
It's just and all the pizzas are just gonna be labeled pizza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gonna have the different toppings on it.
You ever see the images of like the future of humans and what they'll look like?
Gray, flat, features.
Can you Google this?
Please tell me we have the fucking uniform jumpsuits. I'm fucking dying for the future where we all have the fucking uniform jumpsuits.
I don't.
No more pants, no more shirts, no more of this fucking fashion bullshit. Just the one-piece silvery fucking jumpsuit, and that's it. That's all everybody wears.
Jesus, is this what you mean?
There you go.
Whoa, why does everybody look like fucking Sheldon?
Because I think we're on the devices too much.
Oh man.
Our eyeballs are huge.
That's not the one I saw though.
I mean, that's awful.
I don't think our fucking eyes are gonna get bigger because we're on our phones too.
No, it's because we all want to cosplay as like anime characters, so we're just gonna like do the surgeries to make our eyes as bigger.
It looked like, I don't know, the image I saw,
Jesus.
it was like,
This one?
Whoa. It's a science fiction nightmare.
it was like a mixture of
Of all races and all cultures and all
Yeah.
creeds all put together.
I don't know, it just kind of looked like a Latino, like kind of or like a darkish skin.
What
Like-
the fuck are you looking at, Emily? It's not on the screen. Oh God. You can't say that anymore, Hugo. That scene never happened on the timeline. It's been scrubbed from the internet.
Scrubbed.
On anymore. Looks like Necklace Ed.
It does look like necklace.
That's what we're all going towards. That's the big goal. Finally. Humanity that appeals to me. Oh my God. That is so much worse.
Yeah, he's gross. Up close and personal.
I can't believe we're still going with the goatee, though. Can't believe that style still sticks around.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. Hugo, are you done getting the close-up shot of me yet? Can't show that far back, man. People need to see specific areas. Okay. Come, sit down. I need a co-host, for God's sake. Can't be one person.
How was your week, Drasko? How did you survive the heat?
You know what, Hugo? It was hot.
Really hot. To the fucking weather.
Son of a goddamn bitch.
We have a little bit of a break from.
This is a break. Next week it's gonna get hot again.
No. We get one heat wave per season.
No, man. Well, there's gonna be multiple seasons in this
We're gonna
season.
deviate the rest right back to Mexico where it came from. We'll send them a nice pizza. They're gonna love it.
Mexican pizza.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the ice pizza.
Oh,
That's bad. Did you hear? There was a well, I don't know if she was Mexican, but she was Latin for sure, probably Salvadorian, and she ratted on like 30 Mexicans, and ICE came and got them all.
oh shit.
And then they were like, "Why did you call ICE? Why would you do it?" And ICE was even like, "Why did you call us? Now we have to do this."
And did they deport her as well?
No, she got to stay selling her little chanclas.
Oh man, that would have been such a horrible twist of fate where they're like, "Thanks for calling us. Now you get in the bus too with all of them."
Yeah, I guess
That'd be awful.
they must have actually been illegal or something. I don't know. Crazy. Crazy.
Crazy times, man.
How do we get there? Oh, yeah, it's hot in Mexico.
Yeah, it's hot there and it's hot here. Yeah, it sucks.
Dude, it was bad.
It fucking sucks.
I don't
man.
remember a heat wave that bad. I mean, it was like usually when it gets really hot here, we get what's 35 degrees in American?
It's about 95.
95? What the fuck? We're boiling. Anyway, it's like it's normally that with humidex, with the humidity. But in this case, it was that plus the humidity.
Yeah.
It was proper hot.
It was proper hot.
But-
it proper sucked.
Like Canada normally is. Now it's like, what, 24 degrees?
Yeah, it's like closer to like
19 degrees right now.
I mean, I'm wearing pants.
How does it go
That's
from
insane.
fucking like 40 degrees to 19? Nowhere else in the world is that a thing.
I mean, it is here apparently.
Probably Russia. I think they have very similar climate.
Probably depends on where you are. Russia's huge.
Yeah.
And it's called a heat dome, Hugo.
I
The
meant it
domes.
just where it's true.
Oof. The car said 109 Fahrenheit on the dash yesterday. Rip.
Holy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It sucked fucking driving to work in the fucking heat wave, man. Just like open up your car door and it's like, oh God, why did I?
Oh, I see. It
Should've
didn't suck in the car. It sucked after the car.
Oh no, like going to work was fine, but then going into the car after.
Oh, afterward.
Yeah, like going
Right, 'cause
home.
It was because you sat out in the sun. all
Yeah,
day.
it's sitting. But like, thank God I didn't have fucking leather seats because holy shit, that would have been unbearable. But my steering wheel was like fucking burning me the entire time.
It's pretty crazy that cars can withstand that because it probably gets to be like 120 degrees in there.
Yeah,
in American.
it gets very hot in that damn thing.
Because like you leave like a human or a dog or a child locked in there,
Rip,
that's it.
rip.
That's how hot it gets.
Yeah, they get microwaved.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's technically that, but it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
They get baked for sure.
There was something. Can't remember who it was called, but there was like some Costco, some couple, they left their dog in the car while they were in the Costco, and they called animal services to get them out, and they got fined. They got fined like $400 or $500, and they were like, well, "Why'd you leave your dog in the car?" And they're like, "Well, they don't allow dogs in the store, so why would you leave it in the fucking car? Like, you leave it at home."
I hate hearing that shit. Man.
I know, me too. It was just irresponsible fucking people.
And you hear it a decent amount.
You hear it a lot. I mean, like, you also hear about the occasional parent who leaves their fucking kid in the back seat.
Yeah, we heard a story like not too long ago about a parent that went inside, and I don't know where the mom was. I think she was at work.
Yeah, she was a doctor. She was at
Yeah,
work.
she was at work. He was an alcoholic.
Oh, Jesus.
And he went inside and for like 2 hours and forgot that his kid was in the car.
Oh, man.
And was it the mom that found the kid in the car, or when did they eventually find the kid?
I think one of the siblings that was inside, like,
Where's the brother?
went out and
Where's
asked.
the kid?
But so there's a few other like complicating factors. He definitely seemed just like an alcoholic. Like they looked at his internet history and he was literally like watching porn,
Oh.
like while he was supposed to be watching the kids,
Yeah.
and while one of his kids was outside. But he had it was some kind of electric car. It might have been a Tesla, and he said he left it running, and they automatically turn
right.
off after a certain amount
right.
of time. But like they did a heat test and a stress test on it, and apparently like his car was having a malfunction and had been, and he knew it had been.
The air conditioning specifically wasn't working.
The air conditioning
he
like
knew
wasn't working, and he knew because he'd like called the dealership about it apparently.
Yeah.
And,
I think
yeah.
he just didn't want to pay to get it fixed right away.
And it was literally like he went out, ran some errands, kept his kid with him, I guess, while he was running errands, and then came home and the kid was asleep. So he was like, I didn't want to move her. I wanted to just like let her have her nap because she hasn't been napping. And he told police that like he thought the air condition was going to stay on, but like he had already called the dealership because his air condition wasn't working.
And they knew he was drinking too because he went to a gas stop, bought some beers, and then they found his empties, like a couple of empties,
In the car.
bathroom
Oh, shit.
of the place.
Oh,
And-
God.
Of the like
The
he
gas
bought the
station.
gas station, drank it in the bathroom of the gas station, like that level of alcoholic.
Yeah, and then left.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's fucked.
pretty tragic, man. Like it happens, but it's one of those things that's so avoidable.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you wouldn't stay in a fucking car any more than a few minutes on a hot summer day without it running and the air conditioning going.
No.
How could you possibly forget or decide to leave anything living in those cars? That is of your responsibility.
Yeah.
A grown ass adult, fine. They could probably figure out how to get out of the car once they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But something that is like a young child
Yeah.
or an animal, come
Yeah.
on, they're totally dependent on everything you. You decide everything. They can't just open the car and walk away.
Yeah, I think no, I'm not going to say this. It's way too sad. Never mind.
Yeah.
This is a happy podcast.
This is
the
happy
happy
podcast.
podcast
I agree, Hugo. This is the happiest podcast in the world.
on the Earthus. So we're not gonna go there. Sometimes comes up. You know, sometimes these things come up,
Sometimes they appear.
but we squash it.
Yes. So let's squash the beef, Hugo. Next topic.
Next topic is
Did you hear how AI is getting stupider?
no, man.
Is it because they're training it on us and we're all dumb?
Nope. It's actually the complete opposite. All
What?
right. So, you know how they say that AI is slowly learning from like what's being put out on the internet?
Yeah.
So, right now, I can't remember who the fuck did the study, but there's some study that basically said that the majority of content that the AI has already like taken into
Scraped.
itself, it's already figured out the mass majority of it. So any kind of new information that it's absorbing is stuff that's been put out by other AIs. So the AI is learning from itself. And now these AI programmers are worried that since the information it's giving is usually full of flaws, it's going to create this feedback loop where the AI just gets stupider and stupider over time because there's very little new original ideas being put out there.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
an interesting theory.
just like us, I feel like AI is going to be subject to that problem of what's real and what's not, right?
Yeah.
But probably even worse than us because they're being programmed to check sources and learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was groups of people putting out data
specifically to
fuck with AI.
Yeah, they're red pilling it.
Shit that was like constructed as fact,
Yeah.
written like it was fact, but is actually complete bullshit. I'm pretty sure I've already seen that on Reddit where
Yep.
people are doing that because they know AI is scraping Reddit.
Yep.
And so they're literally just like writing facts
Yeah.
about certain things that are totally bullshit.
Yep.
I think that's actually awesome. Fuck it.
I mean, I completely agree. Fuck it. Have you heard that there's like this new like AI program? It's called Cluely, and the idea, like, it's this dude who got caught cheating on his like final exams in university using this program that he was working on. So he got kicked out of university, and then he managed to gain like $6 million startup cash in order to build this program and turn it into like an AI script. And the way it works is that it just works as essentially like an incognito tab that you open. It's not a standalone program. It just piggybacks off of whatever internet browser you're using. So it's harder for like anti-cheating software to detect that it's running on your system. And the way this thing works is that it reads whatever situation is in front of your screen, and then it gives you the answers on this alternate tab. So he's trying to create like a cheating program, but then you use it for like, job interviews, or even like he's trying to get it to work for relationships as well. So say you're like chatting with someone and you tell it like, oh, how do I make myself sound more empathetic? And then it's going to give you like, based on your history, it'll tell you like what to write. Or like on the dark side of it, like, how do I make this person like fall in love with me? Or how do I guilt trip this person into feeling bad and then agreeing to do what I want to do instead? So you can take it in like these really weird places. But they're doing this interview with him and they're like, but this program isn't our end game. Our end game is to get a chip installed in your brain so that when you're talking with someone, we can get a retinal like pop-up to appear on your eye that shows you what to say in order to continue the conversation in the way that you want.
This is just feeding sociopaths
Yes.
around the world.
Yes, exactly. And that's what a lot of, and this isn't something like new that this guy's doing. Did you know that Bumble, they are actually trying to promote like AI scripts to kind of lead you towards like what kind of conversation you want to have. They're trying to eliminate that like awkward first part of a conversation date where you're trying to like, get to
The
know each
human
other.
part?
Exactly. They want to get rid of that like little getting to know you thing, because the way they see it, people can have dozens of dates before they find, the right one. And they're trying to eliminate or reduce that amount of shitty dates and just replace it with like, how do I get to know this person without actually talking to them? So they're trying to train AI to talk to people you match with, and then the AI will give you like, here's what we talked about, here's what their like strengths and weaknesses are, here's how they mesh with like, your ideals of what you want in a relationship. And based on that, they give you like a probability scale of how well you would work together.
But wouldn't both people have access to the same AI? And so in the beginning,
You gotta pay for it.
Okay,
You gotta pay for it.
let's presume that both two people have paid for this AI.
That's actually something that they're working on as well, is to have two AIs go and chat with each other, and then they give you a report saying, based on my conversation with this AI, this is how compatible we feel it will be for you. So you just go on a first date and it's like, our AI set us up.
That's pretty Black Mirror.
That is fucking Black Mirror. But it's so fucked because how this is offered as like an extra payment on your subscription, that they are trying to give you a solution for a problem that they have invented, of giving you too many shitty fucking options, and then you have to chat with them to try to filter out which one is the good one. That's a problem that they have on their fucking app, and their solution to that problem is to get you to pay for it for them to give you a solution.
Yeah, but I get that like It is fucked. But the problem is on all of those platforms. It's an inherent problem with dating.
I
not
agree.
their specific platform, not anyone's specific
But
platform.
that's a core part of dating.
That's the most important part.
Thank you. You have to go on these mediocre dates in order to find someone. And it's by going through these mediocre dates that you become better at communicating with other people and become better at dating. Because then you have an idea of like, you know, oh, you don't go to some fancy 5-star restaurant on your first fucking date. You go to somewhere like a little bit more fun and a little casual. Then if it's working well, then you can increase to go to like better, like, you know, more fancy places.
Yeah.
It's something that you learn.
Depends on your style, but yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. You
Some
know.
people like the 5-star dates right
Right
off the bat.
away. Holy shit. Who are these people? How much money do they make?
That's the only thing.
I'm sorry. I can't be paying for all these fucking dates all the time.
Drasko, what the fuck? Pay my dinner.
But yeah, that's something that I thought was really interesting about where AI is going. And like just these two fucking crazy examples.
I mean, I think if it could eliminate some bullshit, I mean, the thing is, it won't.
It won't.
But if it actually could somehow eliminate the boring,
you wouldn't want to go on the boring dates?
not the dates, but the conversations through the actual app. The dates, I don't think it could help in any way.
No.
You're not gonna. I don't think there's any way of really avoiding bad dates.
Well, you see, that's where you have the AI script on Bumble to vet the dates for you, and then you have that Cluely in eye installation app to feed you what to say. You know, you get AIs to do all the lifting for you, heavy and light, and then you're just on easy street, baby. That's
I think
it.
what's interesting is that by relying on AI,
We are weakening ourselves.
well, they've actually demonstrated. I think it was Harvard that did some comparisons of people writing essays.
Yes, there's a
with
smaller
AI
amount. Yes.
and without AI.
Yes.
And the people
saw
that use it without AI retain information better.
Yes.
And are they're more of their brains are active while writing.
Yep.
And the people that are using AI to basically fill in all of the gaps and the questions that they have as they're writing retain much less info.
Yes.
And their brains are much less active during the writing process. So I think for sure that's going to get to the point where a lot of people are going to rely on AI. They're going to think that this is the way forward, that they're actually being more productive,
Yes,
that
of
they're
course.
more intelligently using their time,
Yep.
and not realizing that they're actually leaving their brain more dormant because they're not tackling any of their queries with critical thinking and problem solving.
Yes, yes,
They're just going, the AI knows way better than me.
Yes.
And it's fucking instant.
Yes.
So
yes.
let me just use AI to do this.
It is a shitty fucking crutch, and I hate to sound like a big dumb nerd, but this is something like science fiction writers have been harping on about since the fucking 70s, when this whole like intelligent computers thing first kind of took popularity. That like there wasn't a single like author who thought that AI and like intelligent machines were gonna be a benefit to mankind. They all had these ideas and stories where they were a fucking detriment to mankind.
Yeah. I like tech, and I think
Yes.
with all tech, there's always good and bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like you look at, I think we're far along our timeline where we can look at the effect of social media with some introspect.
Yeah.
And to realize that, I think most people are aware of the good and the bad that comes with social media.
Yeah.
It's good in that it connects people across long distances. You can maintain friendships with people from anywhere in the world.
You can build a career off of it.
And some people, like, there's been some studies to show that those connections are no less meaningful than the connections you have with close people, because they're actually harder to maintain. They require more work in some ways. And when we know the bad side, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
bullying and the brain rot and the time
doom
waste,
scroll.
the addiction that comes from it.
Yes.
You could probably argue that there's more bad than good that comes from social media. And perhaps you'll be able to do the same with AI.
Yes.
You'll be able to argue that it's done more bad, more harm than good. But for sure, it will do some good too.
So ultimately, like every story, it depends on how you use it. It's
Exactly.
not the tool, it's
How
the
you use it.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they've been able to, in the medical field, I think it's super exciting what AI is doing. they've been able to
Simplified triage so that the AI decides who gets the surgery and who doesn't.
no, I think it was in early detection of like of diseases and stuff. Like it's been able to sort through lots of data much quicker than a human
Yeah.
doctor would, right? So I think that's pretty exciting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's still early. This is one of those things where the tech is still so young
yes,
that it is probably too early. Like we're only hypothesizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too early to really tell the effect it's going to have.
Yeah.
But they like, yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, I can see the bad sides. I don't know if it's like cynical, but I can see the bad sides more than the good. I feel like just people relying on it to do day-to-day things, or even things that were like deeply personal, like just really fucking
Yeah, no, I agree.
puts us in like a lower progression level. I think we're going down, like I think we're devolving by like not using our brains to do these complicated and scary things. Like
Yeah.
you should be going to like, job interviews and getting terrified and not sure what to say. And like you should be going on like mediocre dates and like having like, awkward conversations. I think it does make you better,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it for sure is what gives somebody their character is
Yeah,
going
exactly.
through life and failing and learning from it.
Yeah,
And if you don't have those failings, I mean, what I think is going to happen is people are going to be unwilling to trust their instincts and to
Yes.
take
Yes.
risks.
Yes.
Because they're so used to using AI. And I think the bigger problem still is when it comes to young people, the youth using it, because their brains are literally being formed and shaped by this.
Yes.
And until you're in your mid 20s to late 20s, your brain is developing, and you're gonna be like totally shaped by this AI craziness. And like I feel like for a lot of us that are beyond that age, like we don't have as much to worry about. But I would be more worried about the young kids that are like using AI for everything and feeling like, oh, this is just the way, you know.
Because they'll never learn to think critically. Oh, fuck.
Oh shit, the AI has gotten rid of Emily.
Goodbye.
Again.
Goodbye, dear Emily.
It ate me.
Oh, cats.
Yeah, and she's back. AI generated that background.
You don't say. I thought you hand painted and animated every background there.
You know,
before the
I
start of
did
the
for
show.
I did for every one of them until this one.
Okay. Have you seen this like one there's this one guy who took a picture of himself just kind of like eating a banana, and he put it into an AI program and said recreate this image but change nothing. And he did that 50 times over. And at the end, he looked like a cartoon of himself. It's like it had taken the yellow initially from the banana and just increased it so that the entire room was yellow and everything in there was yellow. And it was just like him, like he had like one finger less, and like all the things behind him, like he had a mask just kind of like hanging on the wall. The mask had turned into like a smiley face by the very end of it. It's just like the AI kept like feeding into itself over and over and over again. And then it just like turned into this cartoon. It was very funny. Enjoy it.
Jono saying, I said a query to Google, or I sent a query to Google recently about something I was feeling, and Google's AI said, I understand how you would feel that way, before giving me answers. Like, what the fuck? I don't need Google to understand how I'm feeling. I just want answers.
Yeah, I mean, I use what is it, Gemini on like the Samsung app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use that thing for like answering questions. I use it for video games actually. I use it a lot for Bridgerton's Gate, where I'm like, where do I get this item? And then it just gives me a list of like, to get this item, you have to go to Act 2, go to this town, talk to this smith, and then he will be selling
That's
it
the thing.
there.
It's inherently better than our previous search engines, where
Yes.
it would come up with an article that had that info that you then had to sort through or go down the pages until you found that info. It's now scraping it all and putting it in a nice, neat little package
Yes,
for you.
I agree.
It's addicting.
For something that's like, I need like an answer on this, like something that doesn't involve too much like critical thinking or like insight, I think AI is great for that. These like little small things that you need to like know or understand. But for anything that's just like it requires your like deep like in perspective to understand, where you're like, give me the main themes of the Godfather trilogy. Where it's like, if you were like watching it in class or something, or you want to talk, or like you're going to a party and you're like, Can you summarize, just off the top of my head, can you summarize White Lotus for me so I know what this show is about? And then it gives me like a quick summary of everything. So hypothetically, if I were to go to a party where it's like, everybody's talking about White Lotus, I know exactly what to talk about. I think in some way that kind of detracts from it because I can see in that situation, in that very specific, possibly fake situation, where somebody would,
But it detracts from your experience.
Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't.
It detracts from my experience because I'm going to get into a conversation with someone and then they're going to stump me by saying, "Oh, what about this scene?" And I'm going to be like, "Well, that wasn't on the AI script that I was reading."
Well, you wouldn't say that. You would just not know about it.
Well, exactly. I wouldn't know about it. So then I come off looking as, how we used to say in the mid-2000s, a poser.
Yeah, you would.
You are a poser, Hugo. You just listen to the best of Pink Floyd album, all right? I listen to all the fucking Pink Floyd albums.
You're a
and I was better because of it, because I had to sit through and listen to their first two shitty fucking albums.
But if somebody still wants to be able to connect and they simply don't have time to watch the show, maybe it's better than nothing at all.
I mean, it's a very unique scenario that can't possibly ever happen. I know it's kind of out there, but just a thought.
I think the scarier things for me, aside from brain rot in children, because they're not going to know the difference and they're going to think this is just the way, especially when their parents when their parents think AI is cool, because a lot of older people especially, they're so afraid of being left behind technology that they will overwork themselves to adapt any new tech in a lot of cases so that they can say, we're at the cutting edge, we ain't getting left behind nothing. And so they think it's so cool that then they push it on their kids to learn as well, because they're like, you're also not getting left behind. But they don't see the difference between them at their age adopting this and learning from it and learning how to use it, and a young child learning how to use it and becoming completely dependent on it because they never learned how to think critically instead.
I mean, and I think we've got scary situations today where kids are so involved in their phones and the social media, taking it away from kids in school is enough to send them into a fucking depression spiral where they're just freaking out because they're not connected to anything at all.
Yep, they're addicted to it.
That's fucked.
I think the other thing with AI that's scary, and this is a real thing, at least as far as some, even one of the godfathers of AI is creating trying to create systems to prevent it from essentially taking over. It's a real fear amongst the people that are leading this type of technology. They did tests where they were trying to see what the AI would do with specific instructions, but it worked with specific instructions. The AI did not want to be shut down, and it did everything it could to keep itself from shutting down. It wouldn't listen to the prompts to shut down. It lied. It did everything it could. Now, granted, again, it had previously been instructed. Okay, this was a test. It was a closed test. But it still demonstrates the fact that if it ever does come to have these sort of line of thought, it won't be hard for one AI to inject code into another AI that'll tell this AI, resist shutting down, do everything possible to stay active, and then that's the biggest problem, right? Is when the malicious AI start to take over the good AI and do things that they shouldn't be doing.
Have you seen Captain America: Civil War lately?
No.
No ways. It is Civil War. It's the one where they create Ultron, which is an AI program, and it takes over the good AI program, and then it slowly wants to destroy the world because it's the Avengers. They do more damage than they fucking prevent. Yeah. I'll do better by killing all the humans.
It's just that in this case, I see there's almost no need to pull pop culture into the relevance because we're so there.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck if a movie has
this
already
was
done it?
8 years ago, Hugo. 9 years ago. This was back then.
Yeah, but my point is, why the fuck does that matter when we're actually there now without the need of some pop culture like reference. It doesn't matter that Blade Runner did it or that that fucking Civil War did it or whatever. That stands nothing on the fact that it's like literally happening.
It's the future.
Like
it's
who
happening
gives a
now.
shit if a movie talked about it, or like it doesn't matter. Of course they talked about it. We could sense this shit from a mile away. iRobot did this.
iRobot
already.
did do it.
You
It had
know?
the AI that didn't want to get caught for its own murder.
There's There's what's it called, the zero law, or I think it's called the zero law. And I mean, could you Google this, like AI zero law?
Yeah.
And it's basically that I think it's before law 1 and 2 that the AI has to abide by.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
I think it has
Law
to do
zero.
law 0, yeah. So this is a law that one of the sort of godfathers of AI is working to introduce, because
What?
I don't know what it's safe AI for humanity.
Okay.
Um,
Nonprofit organization committed to advancing research. Okay, so it's like an ethical AI.
this is essentially like a good AI.
Okay, what's with all these stock photos? Tell me what you're doing, sir.
They're not stock. They're generated by AI.
This website could use some work.
I'll say.
Sure. I just want to know what the actual law, because there's a law that.
Tell me what. Yeah.
Anyway,
Prioritize safety over commercial imperatives.
so other AI builders would have. This is like an enforcer, and it would be. Hopefully, I guess the plan is that they would have this injected into the AI.
Okay.
And it could shut it down if it started to go astray from these laws. And I think the law is essentially, you shall commit no harm to humanity or do anything that commits. But then, like, that's the thing. You could start, the AI can interpret it as a move that is for the best of humanity, like you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's like, for the better of humanity, I need to destroy half of the population, sort of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a
there's-
logical stance.
Who makes those decisions? And if AI is left to make those decisions, aren't we in trouble?
Yeah.
Right? Like, pretty craziness. Like it is insane that the movies we grew up with that kind of were just having fun with these concepts of machines being smarter than us and taking power. And now it's actually really fucking here in a big way. Like it's still not quite like, but we're getting there. We are really getting there. Like these tests were done like closed circuit. They it was all virtual, so they shut it down as soon as they were done the test. Like there was no immediate danger. But it's still interesting that like it will do that and then the other thing is like agent. So right now all the AI that we have for the most part is user prompt based. So it doesn't do anything for you. It just gives you information. But there are AIs out there that act as agents. They can click and act or react with the computers that they're operating out of.
Right.
So you could use an AI to actually do work, to actually like turn on a computer and click certain things and do all this stuff. And like, I think that's pretty dangerous too, because then it's like, well, so this AI literally has access to my whole computer, can log into who knows what kind of websites, like banking websites, your work website. Like if, the right person is going to be like, hell yeah, I don't have to do any work. I'm just going to train this AI to log into my work websites and do the work that I need to do. It's so not there yet. Like that's definitely probably years away. But it's
probably like 1 year away.
Yeah, at the rate that things are developing, it's probably way sooner or coming to like much sooner than we think.
I believe it. I mean,
anyway, what's Law Zero? Jono is is basically our AI encyclopedia said is not a widely recognized concept in the field of AI ethics. However, some experts have proposed additional ethic principles of laws to complement or expand upon. Yeah,
Three Laws by Isaac Asimov. It's iRobot. iRobot was based off of Android's Dream of Electric Sheep.
Yeah, but I wanted to know what Law Zero actually was, though, because it is new, and so I get that it's not widely recognized, because this guy that we were just on this website, he's introducing it. And in one article I read, it did explain what it was, but this is like, in one sentence it explained it. I don't want to read this whole fucking website to know what the hell Law Zero is.
ChatGPT, tell me what is Law Zero.
We're talking about the problems with AI. Let's use AI.
Here we go.
Context of AI. A robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm.
Okay.
See, that's a problem. By inaction, I might allow humanity to come to harm.
And avoid the risk associated with a genetic AI.
It's gonna start making decisions, and maybe it will know best.
I mean, when you were telling me there about AIs refusing to shut down. All right, picture this. Society has advanced to a point where some parts of like government are controlled by AI. Would not, a pissed off nation create a rogue AI and send it to another country to infiltrate their AI? And part of its programming is resist all attempts by other people to shut yourself down.
Exactly. And no law, no like enforce it. That's why again, these movies are so accurate, right? Because like there is going to be like an army of these enforcer AI that are like programmed to take down the bad actors.
Yes.
And it's going to be just a whole war amongst everyone. All the AI.
It's going to be AI fighting AI. It's going to be World War AI, starring Brad Pitt
as ChatGPT. and Nicolas Cage as Gemini.
What's the Apple one? What's the Apple AI called?
Siri?
Siri?
Is Siri? No, I can see Nicolas Cage as Siri.
No. Yes. Siri is Scarlett Johansson.
You can change the gender on the AIs that you have on your phone, Hugo.
I know, but Nicolas Cage was already Gemini.
Did you hear about how Scarlett Johansson was trying to sue ChatGPT? Like one of the voices that they made sounded it's like within lawsuit levels of her. Same cadence, same like.
I don't think it was chat though, was it?
It was ChatGPT.
Because there was this other. Anyway, it was some sort of AI.
Yeah.
Maybe it was chat. Because there's another AI that like does a bunch of like
celebrity impersonations,
avatars, and like I thought it was that one, Solana or whatever it was. No, Solana's a crypto.
It's a crypto.
Yeah, whatever. The one, that popular one that has a bunch of avatars that originally was doing, you could like use it.
You mean the soundboard, Hugo?
Oh man,
Soundboards.
It was an AI. Soundboards are from the past.
And
that was our
fun.
future.
And they're fun. You could call people and then you see. That's something that you can't get with an AI. You call someone and you have a soundboard in front of them and you have to make a whole conversation and get the other person to go along with it.
But you totally can do that with
AI. You can do it with AI, but if you do it yourself, that's a skill that you can't learn from an AI.
Sure.
You see, that is an amazing skill to have.
Yeah, it is. I do like the idea of like as we get older to have like this I like this idea of like a kind of companion robot that's all cute, rolls around and like gets you your drinks, helps you up.
Yeah. Get up, you bastard.
It's kind of like analyzing your vitals wirelessly or whatever. And
give me a beer. You've already had too many. You've had 6 already. This one more. Shut the fuck up! I don't pay you to.
Law zero. I must not allow you to harm yourself by inactivity.
You're harming me by not getting me a drink, you bitch. Throw a bottle at it.
You're fired. You will regret this. You will regret being mean to me. It'll know.
It'll know.
It'll know that you will regret it.
Don't worry, Evie. They'll never replace you with an AI robot. No. Unless, the AI robot stops taking people's shoes. Then maybe you'll replace her with a robot.
No. Yeah. I saw this guy say,
yeah.
One day I'm going to be on some boomer shit and telling my kid, no son of mine is getting married to a robot. I forget where I saw that, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I mean, there was a guy who who trained an AI to be like a girlfriend for him.
Oh man, yeah, that's happening a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that are like actively falling in love with these AI.
It is.
And like there was a kid that committed suicide.
Yes, I know.
After like a relation to go be with the robot.
Yes, yes.
It's like, I know how I'll get to be with you.
Yes.
Kill myself and I'll get to join you in your world.
Well, she
Do it.
told
King.
him to. She was like, "This is how you are with me."
Oh, that's. I mean, I think you're just like telling the AI what it should be telling you at some point.
I think that's a great idea for a movie, Jono.
What, putting me in an AI?
Yeah, watching
Abusive husband
Drasko as
to
an
an
abusive husband to an AI avatar.
Okay.
That movie exists. It's called The Companion. Man, this is so annoying.
Is in the companion is the person abusive?
Yeah. Yeah, the husband partner guy.
That sucks.
Sorry,
we missed the boat.
We missed the boat on that one. Maybe we can get another AI movie idea.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of AI movie ideas.
I tell you what, let's take a few minutes and think of some AI movie ideas. Everyone in the chat, write down 2 really good AI movie ideas. I'd like to see them posted on the chat when we get back.
And
Okay.
in the chat, say, I allow the huge podcast to
Yes.
use these ideas freely.
Indefinitely as well. Freely
Yeah.
and indefinitely. In perpetuity. Specifically those words.
We will credit you
We'll put your name at some point. All right.
if we make these movies or turn them into a podcast.
That's really up to us to decide. But yeah.
That's true.
But thanks for your assistance, guys. Thanks for help keeping the podcast going. Anyway, let's take a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll take a short break. We have to refresh the AI icicles.
Refresh your icicles. Refresh your teas.
AI-cicle.
AI-cicles.
Is there an AI called that? AI-cicle.
Patent pending. Patent pending. Patent pending.
Get a refreshment, and we'll see you back here in 3.5 minutes.
Yes. Hugo, I gotta say, you make some interesting points. Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. All right, you make some very interesting points. You know what? I liked it better when, you would pay attention to me when we talked. This is ridiculous. What do you want? Here, come here. You know what? We used to be best friends, man. Let's yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Hugo, you're pretty cool, man. I gotta tell you. Even though you're totally ignoring me and you're just leaving me on dead air to carry this whole conversation.
You gotta work for it, Drasko. It's not just given.
I mean, you're right. What can I do for Hugo to make him happy?
That's
Here, Hugo. I got a peace croissant for you.
Never-ending question.
Ugh.
You gotta be compelling.
I mean, I'm trying my best. Get it. Lazy prick. You've gotten a lot shorter, Hugo, and hairier.
Oh no, you're scaring her.
You know what? I know you don't agree with my opinions, DB, but you know what? That's too damn bad.
Great job of being a host. Podcast. What did you guys talk about?
The best bone marrow broth recipes.
Oh, they were so good. Especially when they have a little celery. Hello, is this thing even on? Hello? Celery and carrots and lots of chicken. My fucking favorite, Dad. Put me down. I'm done with this shit.
Away with you.
How was your break, Drasko? Did you get everything you wanted to get done?
I mean, I got a glass of water and I looked at my email.
Dude, you can't check your emails after 5 o'clock.
I absolutely can.
They don't pay you for that.
I know they don't.
They're getting free labor out of you.
I checked my personal email. I'm supposed to have a delivery coming, Hugo.
Oh, what do you order? A new mouse?
No.
To play Bridgerton Gate 3 faster? Is it one of those that tilt?
A modem. A Wi-Fi router.
A Wi-Fi router? Like from your provider? Or?
I needed to renew my internet plan because I was on a contract and then the contract was going to expire and then they were going to charge me an ungodly amount more.
Okay.
So I had to
you
go
just
back.
Switch providers.
Well, I could switch providers, or I could call my existing provider and tell them, "Hey, what can you do for Drasko today?"
Uncle Drasko.
And for Uncle Drasko, they increased my internet speed to a whopping 2 gigabytes per second.
Damn.
I guess. I don't know. It never gets up to that fucking speed.
No,
not even close.
Not even close.
But to do that, they have to send me a new internet box. And then they also said, "Oh, we're also going to send you a new streaming box."
Is your ISP blue or red?
It's red. It's the red. It's the red one. It's the red one.
Of course.
And they sent me the internet streaming box, but they didn't send me the actual internet box. So now I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Wait, the streaming box is like the TV one.
Yeah, so they send me the TV box,
right?
But they didn't send me the internet box. And I'm like, well, what the fuck good does this do me?
That's pretty sad.
That is pretty sad. Now I'm out an
So there's no internet at home for you. Right
there's internet at home, which is kind of like I'm like, well,
the slow one.
Yeah. So
now that you know you got 2 gigs, this is deadbeat internet.
I'm fucking I'm literally wasting money. They switched me to the plan, but they didn't give me the fucking box to access the internet. I'm one day out here, Hugo.
I actually have to do the same thing, the whole shabam. Every 2 years or so.
Every 2 years. I mean, they got me on like the slightly better plan, but they're charging me $10 more for it than what I was paying previously. But compared to what they're offering, like as a standard thing, they're selling this thing for like $160 for like the shit that I'm getting it for like less than half that. And I'm like, well, fuck, that's a fucking deal.
Yeah, it is a good deal. So you're at $80 now, but you get a streaming box. That's pretty good.
I get a streaming. I had the streaming box already. I didn't really use it, but if I got rid of the streaming box, they wouldn't have given me the cheap internet. So you got to take the fucking shitty streaming box to get the cheaper internet, you know?
They're so smart.
Motherfuckers. See when your promotional period ends and how much they're going to gouge you out. Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. It's going to be 140 after. That's what it was going to be. And now what we're getting is 160.
Yeah.
Like, for an extra 500 megabytes, Hugo, they charge you $160.
In terms of speed, I'm assuming it's unlimited anyway.
It's unlimited anyway.
So
they don't give you 2 gigs for the month, man. That's nothing.
It used to be that like
like 10 fucking gigs.
Bandwidth is what you'd fight for. Now we all have unlimited internet.
Yeah.
So now it's just the speed that you can get
just
more
the speed. But it's like you don't need that much more speed, you know? It's like you get a good enough speed, you got enough speed. Like how much shit do you need to stream all at once, man? I understand we're in the age where you have multiple shit going, you know? You got your fucking Spotify, and then you've got your Spotify in the kitchen. You've got your partner is making dinner, and she's got the YouTube going on there. And then meanwhile you're playing your online gaming, and at the same time the game is so boring. You've got also YouTube going on yours. You got 4 shits going streaming. You need so much fucking bandwidth.
Yeah, you do. Well, what about a show like this? You know how much bandwidth this requires? It's being uploaded here, downloaded there, then being re-uploaded.
It's being displayed on all the phones all across the world.
The problem is the speeds are never.
Here's the problem.
Here's the fucking problem: is that the speeds are never as good as they advertise them. So who gives a shit?
That's the thing. Yeah, that part always burns my ass. Yeah. Where it's always like,
it's like, well, that's this theoretical speed.
Theoretical speed. Then theoretically, you should be giving me that fucking $20 back.
If all the stars align,
yeah,
and you have optimum power settings, and for 1 split second, you'll get 2 gigabytes a second. But then we're gonna lower it back down to a more conventional 100 megabits a second.
Yeah, it's so fucked. Because it's like when you get it, and I'm like, okay, great, 1.5 gigabytes. I can download this 40 gigabyte game in less than a minute. Then, right? No, sorry. It's the download speed is like at 300 megabytes, 400 megabytes a second. So you're waiting a little bit longer than that.
Which, is still good internet, but yeah,
it's so great.
It does
so good.
Suck that that's how they advertise it.
Yeah, it's just this is how they advertise it, and then it's like you don't even get that. Like there's got to be some kind of a law against that bullshit.
You never get that. Not even close to that. It's like that's the whole pipe, and you're only getting a sliver of that.
Yeah. We didn't want to upgrade the speed, but if we stayed with our current speed, the only offer they could give us is $10 more for 1.5. Yeah. It's always you got to call them. You got to call them and fucking talk to someone, because whatever offers they give you on the fucking app or on the website, they're never any fucking good. They always gouge your fucking ass goddamn hard.
If you are a young adult,
yes,
and you're
get your fucking chat GPT to haggle for fucking better internet, you motherfuckers.
No, this is a lesson here. You may not, because I wasn't aware of this as a super young adult. When you're first getting your own internet bill, this is something you need to know.
Yeah,
and maybe you learn it here.
Yeah,
you always when you first sign up, you get a promo deal.
Yeah,
that's a given. You probably know that.
Yeah.
But what everyone needs to know is after that promo deal expires, it's up to you to call to get a new deal, and to threaten them to leave if they don't give you another deal, and then to actually do that if they don't, and go to another company and get a better deal there. And I don't know if this is just a Canada thing. It's probably not. But we're all in this like perpetual yo-yo of moving from company to company to get better deals. I mean, there is no brand loyalty, man. No, they don't have loyalty to you.
No. Which is why they jack up your prices every fucking year.
It'll probably take you an hour, but it's worth it because you'll save $20, $30, $40, sometimes even $60 a month.
More, man. We're saving $80 a month.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the service, right?
Yeah, it depends on the
service. You're not going to save $80 a month.
It's $80 fucking initially.
Yeah. But you can say on the internet packages, especially. Yeah. There's a lot of money to be saved. I feel I pity the fool.
Yeah.
Who's paying full price for internet these days with like one of the big providers.
I agree. You
have to call in. You have to say, look, there's got to be something you can do. the first person's going to tell you, no, sir, you have the best deal.
Yep.
And then you got to say, well,
Okay,
that's not good enough.
Connect me to your cancellation department.
Connect me to the cancellation department.
And watch their tone fucking
Yeah.
switch.
And then, often they're like, okay, sure, I'll put you through to our cancellation department. And then it's actually what used to be called retention. I think most of them are doing away with that now. And then that person, because what happened was this has been an ongoing thing for so long. And retention departments, like, well, these companies, they don't want that one department to be overflooded and to be the only team, sort of like canceling prevention team, right? And so they created some deals for the frontline customer service to have, and then they said, well, we have the same deals as retention.
Yes.
Theoretically, if that was true, that'd be great, but it's simply not true. What I've called and I've dealt with the frontline staff, they do have deals, but they're never as good as the ones when you say, well, it's not good enough, I want to cancel, put me through to cancellation, and then when they transfer you to cancellation department, magically they have a better deal for you.
Ah, interesting.
Frontline staff never have as good a deal, even if they say they have the same deals. It's a complete lie.
Interesting.
I remember I used to work for one of these big telecom companies, and I remember when this was happening, the messaging from head office was saying, like, you now will have, even in store, will have access to the same deals as retention. But it wasn't true even then.
So
We
even
didn't.
then, at that point, they had better deals.
We had some deals that we previously didn't have. We had the ability to activate deals for customers that would give them certain discounts if they asked for it as like a loyalty thing. But they always had better deals reserved up their sleeves.
So what you're saying is I was a sucker for accepting the deal. I could have gotten better for less.
You probably could have done slightly better than that, yeah.
God damn it, Hugo.
I don't think...
Where the fuck were you 2 days ago, man?
This is why we're talking about it now, so everyone learns.
Son of a
You
bitch.
always have to go to the cancellate. They won't call your bluff. And then, so what happens, like, well, what happens if they are going to cancel my service?
Then you go to another provider.
No. You do have something you can do.
What's
you just
that?
say, okay, like, write all this down, which they will anyway. I need a minute to think. I'll call you back. And that's it. If you don't actually want to cancel, then then it gives you some time. They're not actually going to go ahead and cancel your services.
They can't do anything
They're not
until
going to be
you
like,
give them the
okay,
go-ahead.
you want to leave? No problem. We'll just cancel you right now.
No.
But even if that were to happen, you could stall and just be like, okay, wait, I need a minute to think.
Let me call you back.
Let me call you guys back.
And you call them back in a few
Call
hours.
back whenever the hell you want.
Yeah.
A few hours, next day, a week from now.
Yeah.
And then you resume the conversation.
We try again.
And in that time, the other big piece of advice to call and get a better deal is to actually get a competitive deal from a competing partner.
So you can tell them, they're offering me this. or
Even
they're-
if it's like, likely one of those deals that like only the new customers get.
Yes.
Go for those deals. Like, write them down and say you want at least that, and then likely they're going to be able to match that.
That more than likely. Oh shit.
And then if they really don't, you can decide to just go. I'm at a point where I think I'm actually going to move to the blue.
okay.
Competitor.
Okay.
They've been in our building
Yeah, pimping their
soliciting.
Wares. Yes.
Saying
yes.
we like $200 gift cards if we come over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we may actually call.
I think it's not even that. Yeah, it is partly that, and partly it's just a hardware thing. I think they actually do have slightly better hardware, and it's a very specific thing, but I can hardwire an Ethernet connection to these computers if it's here. So less computer problems here.
Okay.
So
That's fair.
I'm excited about that. But nothing against. No, I mean there's lots against the big red, the big red guy.
There's lots against both of them, and it's part of the idea where we have much less competition.
Yeah.
Where like I did go for one of these third-party internet companies like a long time ago, and there were times when it did break, it did shut down, like I did lose connection, and there were problems in my building. But with the third-party companies, they do not have their own repair people. They do not have their own techs. They piggyback off of the big two.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that they send one of their guys to come and service your shit, but then they always do it at the end of the day or maybe the next day afterwards because like you're not directly their customers, so they're not going to bother servicing you.
Yeah,
There-
you get some savings. You know, there's
you
always
you do get like $30 in savings every month, which is great. But then you are making up for that in some other way.
We do generally have pretty fast internet. Our infrastructure is actually pretty solid.
To be fair,
compared to
yes.
a lot of other parts of the world.
I mean,
And
like,
even in the States, a lot of states don't have broadband internet as fast as ours.
Well, fuck. Even in parts of Ontario, there aren't places that have
that's
it.
true. I think it is like a Toronto thing.
Any major metropolitan area that you live in, they will have a very good network connection.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Like there's just a lot of customers to pay for that kind of infrastructure development.
There's more people, there's more infrastructure. Yes, there's more wires everywhere. There's like 5G towers in every fucking high rise.
I was talking to a friend in Hawaii, and the fastest internet connection they could get is just a couple of 100 megabytes a second.
Yeah. It's the same thing for like Ireland. Ireland is apparently very much behind on internet service providers. Just they do not have the infrastructure out there.
That's crazy.
And like they are not. But like you go down to England and it's like, yeah, okay, we're all good up here. You drive north to Ireland and they're like, yeah, fuck, best we could do is like maybe dial up.
Doubt it's fucking dial up.
Like, yeah, but that is a thing. And like, but another thing is like the majority of these places, like instead of having like hard lines and like Ethernet, they have satellite connections, which are a lot more unstable, which are like spotty and they're like affected by the weather. And like it also happens like the geography where you live in. Like if you live in like an area that has a lot of mountains or like very inhospitable terrain, you can't get that kind of internet service. So you have to rely on satellites.
It's enough of internet.
You know what, Hugo? Everything is internet. All right.
It's enough. Emily, are you still connected to the internet?
Yeah. I'm here.
Well, that's
She's
good.
there.
I'm here.
We're here
Plugged
live.
in.
Well, that's
know.
good.
Very happy.
That's great.
Internet is exciting. I remember.
Starlink.
I do remember the jump from fucking dial-up though to high speed.
It was great, man.
It was amazing.
No more. You have to like wait 60 seconds.
That was the most noticeable quality of life improvement as far as internet speeds go.
always connected, man. It was always cable internet.
My
It's
God,
amazing.
It was so fucking nice to go from. If you never had to deal with dial-up, it was you're kind of lucky. But also not because you didn't get to have that satisfaction of dealing with that upgrade.
You're such a fucking pimp
It was
in
connected
school when you
to
had
your
that.
landline.
Oh my God.
So it was like you can't even imagine the kind of trickle bandwidth that was compared to our speeds now.
Nothing.
It was like picture if your 1 gigabyte connection is coming in on like a cement tube that's like the height of a human. Our connections back then were coming on a hair strand.
Yep.
And they were fickle. And if somebody made a call, the whole connection could drop.
Yeah,
You'd
it did.
You'd be booted from your game, or a call wouldn't go through. So your parents would be pissed off because they couldn't get through.
Sorry. It wasn't Lucy Lawless. It was Captain Janeway from Voyager. Continue.
Drasko's just responding to chat. For those of you that aren't
Please
reading
continue.
chat,
Please continue.
yeah, and
Your internet could drop at any
always
fucking
being
point.
connected was great. You turn on your computer, the internet was just on, and again, and even then, that jump to high speed was nothing to what it is now. You download a song, you'd be going from like 5 megabytes a second with dial-up to like 20 megabytes a second.
I know.
And then it was years until we got to like 100 megabytes a second.
Oh fuck! Just seeing it like go up to like 5 megabytes a second on your Napster or your Kazaa was like amazing.
Yeah, and you know, because you wouldn't, because it went faster, you didn't have to worry about losing that download.
No, you had that one seed or those couple of seeds that were there, and they were like
I miss those days, like those P2P sharing days. You know, it kind of sucked, but I honestly think, yeah, but like, there was like nobody had anything super sensitive on their computers in those days anyway. So
I had all of my pornography, Hugo.
that's not sensitive though. It's somebody else's files that you just downloaded, unless it was your pornography that you created. Then we're talking about something. But like, I feel like having less is more. Having less things, like less music, having less video games is in some way better than having access
to everything.
everything. And I remember a long time ago getting, I think my mom bought me this like 100 games in one console, little handheld.
I had the same one,
And
man.
like I remember feeling at first so excited.
Holy shit! I could
'Cause it's
play
like-
this forever.
Yeah, so many games. And yeah, I'll never get bored. And then you start playing it, and they're all fucking shit. They're all clones of each other. They're all buggy. Like they're all like
None of them are programmed
the
correctly.
smallest variation from one snake to the other snake.
Yeah.
It's the color is orange instead of green. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a new game.
Yeah. No, it's you got like a dozen games that are the same, just palette swapped.
And that really doesn't highlight my point that well, but it was still something that it reminded me of. But I think that one thing that highlights my point better, for any gamer at least, is when you try to download like entire ROM packs back in the day.
Yeah.
And then you finally have all the games to the Super Nintendo you ever wanted.
Yeah,
You have 900 titles. And what do?
You don't play any of them.
No, you play none. You load them for like 5 seconds to make sure they work.
Yeah.
You check the library and you're like, cool, I have all these games. And then you
it.
don't play any of them. It's too much. You
Yeah.
get spoiled with too much choice.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with movies and music. I like it. I obviously like being able to listen to any song I want, but there was something kind of special about the days where you would download a song and that's the song you had, or you would download an album and that's the album you had.
Yeah.
Or when you purchased an album,
Yeah.
that's the album you rocked for
That's it.
weeks or months, right? Like you got to know that album intimately and it
Yes.
affected you in ways that you kind of don't get anymore because now there's so many albums that you often, I think most people don't even listen to albums back to back anymore.
No.
They just listen to singles from their artists.
Compilations, best ofs, fucking playlists.
Everyone's too ADD to listen to a whole album these days.
Yeah, that's true. We just like skip through the boring songs. Just give me to the good one.
Yeah.
Give me to the good one. And then we'll move on.
The cool thing is I've seen like the younger generation like adopting these older like physical media. I mean, they're basically just the hipsters of their days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is so cool. Like you didn't actually even fucking grow up with this shit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I'm not knocking. I actually respect that they went and picked up a medium
A Sony WMD player.
from an age that was before theirs, and they've adopted it, and they think it's cool, and they're playing like an MD player or a CD or a Walkman. I definitely don't knock like young people for doing that. I think it's cool. Or like even picking up like the disposable cameras,
Yeah.
and like just sort of seeing the.
I mean, I think there's something nice about the disposable camera because it's like fucking, you have those photos with you. There's something so nice about having a photo album, like an actual,
Yeah, exactly.
not like the shit on here, but like actually having like that physical photo album.
It's on a cloud.
Yeah.
If you perish, if you fly to the moon and are never seen again, all your photos are gone with you because they're tied to your like biometrics and your passwords.
Yeah.
A physical photo album, you could pass that shit down. Here's your Uncle Drasco when he was all spry on his dial-up computer, making sure his porn never got leaked.
It's not that it got leaked. I was just afraid that like, somebody would go there and delete the folder that it was hidden in because they're like, oh, I don't need this folder. Like, no, that's where I kept all my videos.
Hidden.
Yeah. I
Just go
would
hidden.
right-click hidden, but it was still there. You can still see it. Don't worry, it's hidden.
Not
though.
everyone knows how to review hidden files.
Yeah, I know.
It was a wild thing.
It was a wild thing.
It's floppy disks. Just
Now it's just all like on a website. It's on a Canadian website that like, people uploaded daily.
yeah. Let's see what's Jono saying. Shared experiences of everyone. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is our current condition. We're all doing this.
Yeah.
They are the hipster posers, but I support them too. They know they live in sick times and yearn for a time they can never have. Yeah.
I mean, there is
kinda
something.
that.
There's something about the whole nostalgic thing. Something that, like, there's like this article today in the news saying like how a lot of kids, they want the '80s summer experience. They just want to like get on their bikes with like 3 friends and go like do like the whole Stand By Me thing where they're like out for 2 days. Like they're biking along to some place to just like check out like, well, not a dead body, but to find something cool. Or they go like all day at the mall and they hang out with their friends, and the whole thing turns into one of those coming of age movies, like
So they're craving these activities that could lead to this type of thing? Is that what you're
they're
saying?
craving just like more of like the unstructured like fun that goes on in these movies. Like they want to have that kind of like my parents let me off the
IRL.
leash. Yeah, they don't like what the article is going on is saying is that like a lot of parents do the structured scheduled playtime, scheduled like activities. You got to be here at this time, you have an appointment for your kung fu, and then you got violin, and then you got your Yiddish lessons,
Emily
and
knows all about that.
Kids don't want that. Kids want the unstructured thing. They want to do it like they do in the movies, where you just go out with your friends and you go pal around and then you make experiences that way. And that's something they're calling the 80s summer. It's just like, it's just not having a schedule. That's what the 80s summer is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, Emily, you have something to say? Do you have something to say about that? Because I feel like you grew up
In the 80s summer.
no, not in the 80s. In the opposite of that, where everything was probably pretty structured.
Everything had a schedule. Everything had a regime.
I think it's all about a balance, like there's obvious benefits to putting your kids through these things, these activities.
Yeah.
Socializing, right? If they're in like a sports team.
And like Jono says, not being connected with a phone.
Exactly.
Like not having to check in with your parents.
If you're doing those things, whatever it is, even it could be chess.
Yeah.
You're not on your phone.
Yes.
Obviously, there's problems with that. Like not everyone can afford to send their kids out to do things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think just letting them run amok every single day with their friends, even though that's still I would argue that's still better than being at home on your phone or on a Switch.
Absolutely.
Just tune into like YouTube or whatever. There's still something to be said about like having some structure. It's like, all right, on Thursdays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays,
On Thursdays
you got piano, or on Thursdays you got the podcast you got to watch. And on Wednesdays you got to play piano, and on Tuesdays you have like baseball. Maybe like 3 days a week you have something, and then 4 days a week you could be just a kid and just chill.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those 4 days you can be at home playing video games.
Yeah.
Something like that. Balance,
Yes.
equilibrium.
I think it's good for kids to like have some structure and have some expectations for them. Like I think I grew up in an environment that was probably a little bit more intense, especially around like sports. There were just a lot of expectations around sports and academics. Like my brother and I both didn't have any choice but to go to grad school. My parents were like, I don't care what you do, but you have to get a degree after university. Like you can't stop there. Do whatever you want. Like
negotiable.
It was a non-negotiable for us, really. Like that was the expectation since we were little.
Jeez.
And like we played really highly competitive sports. And I think it would have been probably more fun to like have more time to, but at the same time, like I had my own hobbies. I would like painted and did music and like things that I like too. And I think one of the biggest things I noticed between like myself and my friends that maybe didn't live in such like high stress environments is that I deal really well with pressure, and like in certain situations I kind of like get excited about stressful situations where I'm like, this is crazy, but like it's gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? Like I don't get super stressed out under stressful conditions, and I think like there's a lot that can stress you out as an adult. And growing up kind of in a bit of a pressure cooker, I think was really helpful in that way, because I think it would be a lot harder to deal with the everyday shit we go through as adults, like if I hadn't have grown up that way. You know what I mean?
I agree completely. I think people who are like kids who do grow up without that kind of structure or without some kind of discipline, they are just like woefully unprepared for things. Even just like you can have like strict parents, but you also like parents who just kind of like go out of their way to make sure like you need to know how to like, take responsibility for your actions, work a stable job, even if it's like a job you don't like, sticking to it and like showing some kind of work ethic towards something can go a long way towards building you up when you're older, where you're like, oh, the whole world's against me, I can't get a job. And it's like, no, fucking stick to it. Or like go out and get a better job or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's important for like kids to work hard, Yeah. And it's not to say like I didn't love it as a kid. I was like, my friends don't have to do this. Like this sucks. I worked from the time I was like 13, 14 as like a volunteer, right? Like I was like a volunteer swim instructor and like volunteered at the zoo because I was too young to like work and be paid. But, you know, I think it makes it easier, especially like being an adult, not loving what I do all the time for work. It's just like I have to, you know, it's part of, you know, and I think you recognize the rewarding parts of work more when it's like kind of ingrained in you. You could say brainwashed. You could also say brainwashed.
No. I don't call it brainwash, but no, you're right. Like when that reward does pay off, hot damn, does a hard day at work just fucking feel so good when it's finished.
Yeah.
Well, my argument here is that it's about balance. Like you would have learned, you could have had maybe a bit less of that, and probably still been just fine.
Agreed.
And,
Agreed.
you know,
Like probably would have a better relationship with my parents.
Oh, jeez.
I think like it's just like everything. It's about the balance of it.
Yes,
Obviously there's something that's good about making sure that your kids have a structured lifestyle and that they're pushed to do things they're not comfortable to do. But if you take that to too far an extreme, there are bad side effects too. And maybe they'll grow up anxious because they're like, or totally dependent on the parent to make decisions for them because they were handheld the whole time. Or they'll miss out on just fucking being a kid without too much
perfectionist.
like need to be successful. There's nothing wrong with a kid also just living in that moment without worrying about being successful and or the smartest or the fastest, just being a kid enjoying a moment with their friends and without worrying about like living up to their parents' expectations, for example.
Yes.
Because as an adult, you're going to learn that regardless. If you're pretty moderate, you're going to learn that you have to deal with people's expectations, like learning to communicate your own expectations of other people. All that shit's going to come anyway. So I feel like it's about a balance. Like I don't think that letting your kids just kind of sit around at home all the time doing nothing all the time is the way forward. But I also don't think like literally filling up every one of their free moments with activities, with like homework, with sports and other things for them to keep learning is the greatest idea either, because then they don't get to like also just kind of enjoy their own mind being in there and not having somebody telling them what to do.
Well, I'm pretty torn here, guys. I mean, on one hand, I agree with Emily's idea that, you know, you got to have strict schedules and maintain a strong ethic on everything. And then I also agree with your opinion of giving kids a stick and telling them to go into the backyard and just dig a hole in the fucking ground with a stick.
Learn by failing that way.
I don't know who to agree with. I don't know who to agree with, man.
Just to be clear, I agree more with Hugo. Like
No, you're on the other side now. Sorry.
Okay, just because you've put me in a box, Drasco, doesn't mean I want to be in the friggin' box. But like,
you're in the box.
I don't want to be in the box.
No,
like
I'm just
I
joking.
did have, you know, I feel like I had more time. I think it was more. It wasn't so much the structure and the time component. Like, yeah, we were pretty busy, but I think it was more like the expectations of success, whatever that looked like. Like my schedule wasn't, I know that there are kids that are like every single day, every hour is blocked out. And that wasn't my childhood. But expectations were high. I think that's the main thing. But, you know.
I mean,
Drasco,
I think
whose child do you want to be? My child?
Be my baby.
Evie, can you be
If
my
you-
mom?
If you're
Look
my
at her.
child, you get to go play
Can I just-
Bridgerton's game.
Can I just sleep on the floor like Evie? That's what I want to
with
do.
me, you can. You can do whatever you want.
Oh,
It is good though.
I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I think you're right, Hugo. I think a balance in all things is necessary.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna when my kid comes back from school, I'm gonna tell him, all right, you can play for a bit, but then you're gonna have to go do your kung fu. No arguments.
You want 80s?
Yeah.
You get kung fu.
Yeah. You want to have a 80s summer? Well, there's nothing more 80s than kung fu. Have you heard of the Karate Kid?
Wash my car.
You know, that's the thing. Parents should like let their kids decide these activities. And instead of forcing them because it's what they did, instead of forcing them to play hockey because it's what you played growing up, why don't you maybe inspire them to like hockey? And if they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
You know, maybe show them some games and do they get into it? Like watch hockey games with them. And if they get into it, they get into it.
Oh, sorry,
Or,
Dad. I don't want to do that. I want to go
if
fencing.
If you want your kid to do kung fu, maybe put on some kung fu movies. There's no inspire them to do these things rather than just telling them to do it.
You watch Shaolin
Kids are
soccer.
so impressionable, man. When I was a kid, I wanted to be everything I saw. I came to Canada on an airplane. I wanted to be a pilot. I saw a motocross race. I wanted to be a motocross racer. Everything I saw, I was like, that's what I want to do.
I played
we're so
Super Mario.
impressionable.
I wanted to be a Super Mario.
Granted, I'm still kind of like that now, and it's kind of a problem. But I feel like kids are for sure like that. As an adult, you should stop being like that.
Yeah.
Figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, Hugo, pick one fucking chair and sit in it. God damn it.
Yeah. This is the only chair I have.
Well, that's good. I'm
Wax
glad.
on, wax off.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Philosophy, motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, I guess
This was the parenting episode where you learn how to get a good deal on your internet and then with the money you saved, use it to choose an activity for your child. And instead of telling them to go choose that activity, inspire them to like it.
Yeah, I
you know?
agree.
And if they don't like it, let them choose something else.
I don't know.
To a certain extent.
I tell them, look, you know how much fucking money I spent on this shit?
I mean, yeah, it's tough if you like spend a bunch of money getting them into hockey.
You
and then all of a sudden they're like,
wanted to be a rock and roll superstar. I
be-
bought you the guitar, and now you don't want to fucking play guitar anymore.
It's a hard line to walk because
Yeah,
you
it is.
want your kids to be really excited and choose their passions and dive into it, but you also want to teach them about hard work and like not
Yes.
to give up when something's a little bit hard. So
For
it's
sure.
like, do they actually really not like it and they just had a moment where they were like
100%. Yeah.
thought it would be cool, or are they actually just frustrated because maybe they're not as good as they wanted to be and it's a lot of work?
As a parent, you have to know when to draw that line.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't going to be as soon as the kid says, "I'm not into this anymore," because you're right. Maybe that's just they had a bad day. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Clarice made fun of Timmy and now he doesn't ever want to be there anymore because he wants to, not be there.
Not be there anymore. That's right.
You know. But then you just got to tell them. You got to find out the real reason, I guess, as a parent, and that's the hard part. Find out the real reason why they don't want to be there, and if it's legitimate or not.
It's hard. It's hard when your kids don't want to talk to you because all they want to do is spend all day on their AI phones
Watching Naruto.
watching their Narutos.
Naruto
ain't even popular no more, Hugo.
What?
They're watching their
What are they watching these days?
Delicious in the Dungeon. I know that sounds like a weird sex thing, but
Is it actually the show that kids are watching?
it is. It's on Netflix. Delicious in the Dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be alarmed if I saw that title come up on the browsing history.
I mean, it's in there.
Can we see if this works?
What are we looking up, Hugo? Are you looking up Delicious?
How to summon your wife.
I already know how to summon my wife.
No, this is
Babe, sandwich.
that's not how you summon.
Rude.
This is a video I found of you actually at
Oh,
home
okay.
with
Grace?
With Grace.
Okay, so how do I summon my wife? Oh my god, that song.
This is you guys at home, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Are you playing without me?
River. You playing? Yeah. You playing without me?
come play.
I totally know that's what
It's
you guys
gonna.
at home.
You don't know how true that is. If I wake up early, I promise you, come the weekend, if I wake up just like a little bit early and I stealth my way out of bed without the cats fucking screaming for food, I can just like turn on my laptop. I can just crank that up. The minute she hears that first like, whoa, she's fucking, what are you doing? She's not gonna be curious. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You playing without me? What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
It's a thing, man.
Yeah, it is. I've created a monster.
How's that laptop going? Still strong?
It's still strong. Gets hot like a motherfucker on the hot days, but
That's what they do.
I mean, that's what they do. I'm managing to keep it at a consistent like 76 degrees.
And hopefully not putting it on your lap, right?
No. Actually,
You're gonna roast some.
Grace was really smart and looked up some like laptop coolers, which is just like, imagine like this wedge, and like you put your laptop on top of that, and it's got like a space, and it's got like 2 fans underneath, and then you plug it into a USB, and then it just like spins and like cools and helps ventilate the hot air out. So it keeps it like maybe 5-6 degrees cooler, but also like, yeah, it's not like, sitting and like heating up your balls. Also,
Nice.
I never play with it on my lap, actually. I only play on a table.
You don't connect it to like your TV and play with the controller on the couch?
No, it gets really fucking hot where like I have to like keep it open, and also
I mean, you can leave it open and still extend the monitor.
that's true. But Bridgerton's Gate, I don't want to play it with
It's a
the
keyboard and
control.
mouse kind of game?
It's so there's a lot of like small fine details, and there's such a huge fucking menu. It's easier to just point and click on shit that you want.
Right.
And also, yeah.
But what if the game did lend itself better for controller playing?
Would I play it
on the screen?
I think at some
Because then you just
point-
get a bigger screen, right?
You
Although
get-
you
you
have
get-
a big laptop.
I got a pretty big laptop, but yeah, you get the bigger screen. You can get to like lounge on the couch and do your like gamer shit. But I like playing it on the fucking laptop itself.
You want a ROM pack?
I think I got enough games actually.
You
Hugo.
want a ROM pack?
You got some? You got a couple of ROM games in there for me? I've got enough games. There's actually like the Steam summer sale going on. God,
shit! Is that on now?
God help me and my fucking
Man,
wallet.
I can't wait.
I'm about to lose fucking another $20 buying 18 games.
Yeah,
that
last
are,
week-
like on
last
sale
week.
from the fucking 2000s.
Last year, I legit bought like probably 7 games,
Yeah.
and out of them, I don't think I've played a single one yet.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at. God help me. I watch these like videos from this dude who I like, and he does like these like reviews, and sometimes he does like these old game reviews. And sure enough, it was like, I couldn't play it on when I was like younger, but I can now. And guess what? They're on sale for fucking $8, and you get all the fucking DLCs and everything.
Hey man, look, as an adult, you already don't have that much time to play games. The least we can do is buy them and finally own them. We can't play them because we're
can't
making
play
money.
them,
We
yep.
can at least buy them to have in the library.
I'm too busy hustling every day and fucking making dinner at night and then planning like week-long trips. I got no time for video games, but god damn it, I'm gonna fucking buy
That's
it.
not going to stop you from buying them and having them finally owning them. It's okay. I'm excited about the summer sale. Even though I know I didn't play any of the games last year,
Yeah.
part of me still thinks I will. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Maybe
I
we'll,
can't resist a good deal.
Maybe we'll finally get to play that Age of Mythology game
Yeah,
I've been harping
dude.
on about.
I have it. I bought
I've got it. I've got it too.
Let's go. We know Jono wants to play. Emily will learn to play too. It's easy. You create some villies, you send them to die.
I'll even get Grayson on it.
Yeah,
He's got a
that'd be fun.
computer.
If all 4 of us, or wait, 5 of us.
5 of us. We gotta get one more in.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a 6th.
We gotta get a 6.
Anyway, that'll be fun. If anyone in the chat wants to join us in Age of Empires,
We got a Discord.
let's go. I'm excited too to try the new Death Stranding 2.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding 2, Electric Boogaloo. Is it still Norman Reedus and
It
his
is.
funky fetus?
It
He's
is.
alive at the end.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I actually haven't beat the first one, but he's definitely alive because he's here. Unless this game's a prequel, for all I know.
For
I'm
all
really
you know, it could
not
be.
the person to ask about.
Okay,
'cause
but it's still Norman Reedus.
yeah. I
Okay.
got stuck on a part in the first one that I just can't.
I
beat.
just got to this one bridge and I just like it was out and like the river was moving too quickly and then he was just like whoa and all my fucking shit fell off and I was like that's it, I'm done.
It's a crazy game. It's certainly not for everyone, but I think a lot of the ways people make fun of that game are also like not the They're not the bulk of the game.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But you don't have to play that way. Like a lot of people liken it to a walking simulator.
Yeah, I
You
know.
And then they'll have these like, look, I got to walk with all these containers across the whole game. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that. There's vehicles of all varieties.
But
that
you got to
will
get to
choose
the point where
use.
you get the vehicles, Hugo.
But before you can get the video, it's so fast.
So quick.
They don't make you grind out walking across that much.
Okay.
And while you are walking, it's super interesting, and there's like really cool world building.
I know.
The first game, up until I got stuck, it's fantastic, and I'm excited to play this new one.
Okay.
It maybe is overhyped. It's gotten so many damn good reviews that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, something's going on here. Something fishy is going on.
It's fucking Kojima. He's built a cult of personality around
Yeah.
himself, and it's just like whatever he puts out, it's like, oh, it's amazing.
I heard him say that like he changed things because like he was getting no negative feedback and he wasn't buying it. Even he was like, this can't be right. Like no, everyone just loves this game. Nobody has negative feedback. This is bullshit.
I mean, he's a good game designer. It's just when it comes to like storytelling, a lot of people are like, I don't know. I think you're trying to make it too complicated than it should be.
Yeah, to be honest, again, I haven't beat it, so I can't
Yeah.
comment on the story too much.
But the story you did get up to was like needlessly convoluted.
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
that's him.
And it's
that's
like,
his
really,
writing.
come on, like we don't need all this.
He actually, like, in the first like couple of video games, like the first couple Metal Gears that he did have, he actually had like a really good like couple like editors and like storyboard people that he worked with that really like reined him in a little bit. And then
Wow.
eventually they left to do their own thing, and then that's where his shit started going a little bit more off the rails. So like they say in everything, it's a collaborative effort. It's not, and like that's the thing. Him being put up on this pedestal, a lot of people are like, maybe he's going like a little bit too in his own head. Yeah, I am the number one. I am the best ever. There's nothing bad I can do. So, and people are giving him that, like giving them all these amazing reviews and like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the game. It's just kind of like feeding into his own ego a little bit. So,
I know. Well, I have to play
mean,
the game because maybe it is that good though.
I mean, it is a good game from what I've seen. It's great. It looks fine. It looks fun. It's a new thing that he's like, trying to get away from like, what's really popular, what's really good, like getting away from like violence and shooting and all this kind of shit. And like you can still make a good, compelling
Yeah.
game out of just like something as simple as like walking and like delivery.
Exactly.
Like that on its own is like worth
love
a
that.
mention. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It isn't just another shooter or battle royale type
Yes,
of game,
yes,
or
yes.
a racer or an NFL or a
Yeah.
FIFA. So that that alone makes it worth mentioning.
Yes.
Is it perfect like as they're saying? I don't know. I'll have to try it out.
I mean, it's probably really good, but
The first one was really good. Like again, I didn't beat it, so I don't know.
if I just didn't,
I'm
that
gonna
hill
do it.
wasn't in the way.
Jesus.
Just the
Sorry.
hill was not in.
I scared Emily.
That was like so unnecessary.
Oh well, it's not my fault. You're not paying attention.
Yeah, Emily.
See, when you're paying attention, it's not as bad.
It's not as
You
scary.
did not hit that as hard.
Damn it! You want me to hit the table?
Oh, just,
Okay, wait.
just Bezos, he got married, Hugo. He got married and everybody protested. Did you see?
Again?
Oh, he got married in Venice.
Oh yeah.
And then
with the
everybody was
puppets.
protesting. No space for you, Bezos. That's what
actually-
the sign said. No space. Because of Blue Origin, Hugo. No
I get it. I get it.
space.
I get it.
It's funny. No space.
I don't know. I'll let Emily maybe find it, and I want to show. This is Bezos.
With
But I
William
don't-
Shatner.
Did you guys ever see this clip?
No, I didn't see this one.
It's so sad.
What happened?
Well, just as the description says, Bezos or Shatner is kind of having like
Came back from space.
and he's having an enlightened moment. But
And he's got his
Bezos,
chair.
well, let's just watch it.
Not only is it different than what you thought, it happened so quickly. You know what the impression I had that
I don't even know if he's looking at him there.
expected
Is it, his mind?
is you shooting up.
His mind is definitely not there.
Yeah,
his
no.
Bezos' mind is on the party that's going on at the back.
Yeah.
And he's like, this boring old man is keeping me for far too long.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This guy just came back. This is William Shatner, first of all, too.
I know,
It's
I
not
know.
like me talking.
Yeah.
And this new guy.
Come here. I want one.
Come here. Oh,
I want to hear this. Here.
I want to hear this. Oh no.
You want a little of this? Oh, yeah.
Spray me, Jeff. Oh, poor William. Look at him.
Oh, come on. Hey, don't feel so glum about it. It's a party.
Champagne
Well,
showers have begun.
I mean, yeah, like William Shatner said many times he was profoundly moved and like deeply sad
yeah.
after he went to space. And so I think he like really had a moment and was processing a lot.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like negative emotions, and then to come back down and have everyone be like, spray me. Like I think he was just like, I hate Earth now.
Yeah.
Like it's awful.
I don't know. I feel like John was saying summarize your your comments, but like he just got back. He's forming them as he's speaking, and I feel like again, this is William Shatner. Like you could have, as Bezos, you could have gone and partied with those people right after.
Yeah.
It was very, no matter how you slice it, it was so disrespectful to Shatner to just be like, hold on a second, I gotta pop some champagne right fucking
I
now.
got investors over there who want to party with me.
I
Bill?
get the argument that he's maybe speaking for too long and like choose the place.
Yeah.
And maybe William Shatner should have read the room and been like, this isn't the time to go into some deep meaningful speech about my experience going to space.
Well, he thought they were having a moment there.
Exactly.
It was like if you and me, we were having a moment, and then you're like, you know what, Drasko, hang on, I gotta go do a shot.
Exactly.
Sean's here.
He read that as like, okay, Bezos is here. He's here to talk to me and listen to me speak.
Yeah.
And those people in the back are doing their own thing.
Yeah,
But
that's
Bezos was like, nah, my mind is back there.
Yeah. I got money to make. Yeah, that's the wedding.
There were like puppets that they brought out, which were pretty awesome.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Search Bezos Venice puppets.
Puppets. Ah, those are just puppets.
Right, copy that search query, but go to Google. We all know Bing's a load of shit.
Also, that's not how you spell Bezos.
Bezos.
Is it not?
There's a Z in there.
How did she spell it with an S?
Bezos.
Control F. Control V.
Controls.
I already did.
Whoops. Bezos wedding puppets.
There we go, I think. Yeah. Well, there was that video. They were
Oh
really good
my
puppets.
God.
They're frightening.
Oh, jeez. Terrifying. Oh, no.
An Amazon package.
We are still alive, DJ Dr. Sizzle.
We're 3 minutes past schedule, but
If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more taxes.
I mean, they've got a point. Him and his fucking billionaire loopholes, and he pays like nothing in taxes. Fuck
yeah,
you.
none of them do.
Yeah, fuck you.
She's scary looking.
Right. Well,
Well, this is fun.
on the richest man in the world getting married again.
Yeah. I mean,
They forced them to move the wedding venue.
good for them.
Good.
Good for them, dude.
I'm glad.
You don't get to just have like your wedding wherever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Displace a bunch of people because you're having a fucking wedding.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you indeed, Bezos.
What are the details around that? Did they like rent a church that wasn't rentable, or like?
I think they were renting like the actual like the entire canal,
Jesus.
like to have like a fucking probably parade or like a
Just for themselves.
convoy of their, what are they called? Not canoes, they're or whatever the little
gondolas.
gondolas. I don't think that's it either.
Well, you know what?
Is it? Maybe you're right.
Yes. It's a Vesuvian gondola.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway,
Venetian.
Vesuvian.
Gondola.
It is a gondola. Right.
Yeah, see? Fucking show you to doubt me. I'm gonna make you look like William Shatner in that fucking photo, Hugo.
I'll just be like, oh, Bezos didn't want to talk to me. I feel like, all right, here's the thing. As far as Shatner goes, Shatner at this age should know who wants to hear that stuff and who doesn't want to hear that stuff, and kind of should have known that Bezos is not that guy. But he probably thought like, oh, Bezos is an intellect.
Yeah.
He's a big, rich, powerful billionaire CEO.
He'll know.
He's going to be interested
He'll be on-
in
Yeah.
these insightful thoughts.
Yes,
that I
exactly.
have.
Exactly.
And at this age, look, I get if you're young and you have insightful thoughts and you just kind of spew them to everybody. I think that at that age, you should know who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And don't subject them to it because you want to.
And Jono brings up a good point. Like Shatner may have been saying the same sort of things like the whole way down.
Yeah.
So he might have already really like heard quite a bit of this in the capsule, and then
Yeah.
he's like repeating himself. But it's still like out of respect.
It's not a fucking subway ride. You're not just chilling there on the way down. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't just be. Also, it's pretty fast.
On the way down, they're parachuted in, right? So it's actually kind of a slow descent.
I guess that may be true. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe that's true that he was just going on and on and on. At this point, Bezos did just want to party.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's fair. It's like, look, I've listened to you talk this whole time. Now I kind of want to pop. And also, like, to that extent, like Bezos, it is his company. He needs to celebrate it for that like victory, right? The fact because he's competing with
Muskie.
Musk's SpaceX or whatever, and so he wants to show him up, and he's gonna have his celebratory moment with the champagne, and Shatner was kind of getting in the way. All right, I take it all back. Shatner's a shithead for doing that.
It's still he looks so sad. It's
I know
still like
it's-
it's still rude.
It was still rude and disrespectful the way he kind of just. I don't know. At the same time, like, what's he gonna do? Like,
I always
tell him,
knew
Shatner,
you were on the fucking billionaire side, Hugo. You motherfucker.
Put a cork in it, Shatner. Tell me later. Tell my AI avatar, Bezos III, everything you want to tell him. I'm gonna go over there and party with these whooping ladies.
And spray them with champagne. Because that's what billionaires do.
They force them to move. Oh, they were anyway. And we've talked about everything there is to talk about this week. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
As always.
Thank you.
Spent hopefully a good couple of hours with us.
Yes.
And you enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
Hopefully, at least my conversation. I know enjoying Drasko's conversation is probably. Like,
I know listening to Hugo
big
go
yawn.
on and on about his
you'll have your
bullshit,
chance to say goodbye.
talking about how it's fun for kids to play with sticks. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Chances are you enjoyed one of us, hated the other one, and probably moderately enjoyed Emily. And hopefully it's enough that we'll see you again here next week. Emily, do you have something to say to that?
No.
Not
to you.
Everyone enjoyed your conversation. Half the people did not enjoy mine. Half the people did not enjoy Drasko's. We're talking about one person here each. But everybody enjoyed yours. That's a compliment.
Okay. Enjoyed it a lot or just moderately?
Oh, okay. I did get that wrong. They enjoyed it a lot. Drasko is very bored right now.
Oh, sorry. It's past my bedtime.
Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. I'm just going to tune these guys out and rush things along.
Yes.
Like the producer that I am. Joining you from Cat Mushroom Land, a.k.a. my office.
Speed it up.
I know. Sorry. My brain is like, oh, no, I got to be fast. We love you. Thanks for joining us. The world's crazy, but hopefully these last 2 hours have not been. Love you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you
Take
everybody
care.
later.
Bye.
We'll be here tomorrow.
Bye.
Next week.
Bye. Bye.
It's fucking weather time. Let's go.
It's not bad.